All right, we are live. Way to get a few people on here. Random rainy night live Q&A. So we got one watching. Be very, how you doing? Nose of the ground. What's up, bud? I guess you ain't out hunting tonight with this rainy weather. Wow, 8 watching. That's quick. Caden, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you on here. Redneck Crazy Outdoors. I like that name. How you doing? Good to see everybody. Yeah, Austin, I was thinking about going myself, and I went out there and you can feel the sleet coming down. I thought, sure as I do, I ended up putting the truck in a ditch. That wouldn't be good. Bryce Matthews says, just got my new Mooks collar in today on my Flourish Scout thermal imaging. Going to try them out tonight. Well, good luck, buddy. Yeah, a friend of mine's got one of those thermal imaging things. He's got the Leopold version and really likes it. So, Austin, Illinois, how you doing, buddy? Skyla, good to see you. Be very, so how long you been cooning? Well, I'm 30. I'll be 35 years old in January, and pretty much been at it. I took a couple years off, but I've been at it since I was probably about 12, 13 years old. So, pretty good long while. I took a couple years off there in high school. Just couldn't go to school and stay all night coon hunting too. So, Michael Murray, Alabama, on board. Austin, did you get your truck fixed? I know you was having brake issues and all kinds of stuff. Oh, Mario, what's going on, buddy? Tony Powell, how you doing? Josh Webb, the other Alabama brother, is on. Boy, we got Alabama showing up strong today. Austin says, look back on your video. JC calls and you showing how to use it. And that Mighty Max sounds identical. Cool, buddy. Austin found a coon squaller today called a Mighty Max. Me and him neither one ever heard of it. He's giving it a try. I have to go hunting with you, Austin, and see it. Says it's pretty affordable. Brent Soap, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Michael Murray, how you doing? David Nichols, cousin from California. California cousin. Well, I got a couple things I want to talk about to you guys tonight. One big thing, is we hit 1,800 subscribers on our YouTube channel here today. Yeah, I think it's 1,800 right now, unless somebody else is subscribed in the last several minutes. West Virginia Coon Hunter, how you doing, buddy? But anyway, 1,800 subscribers today, guys, and I look back and we're just a touch, like a year and a few weeks over of when I officially started this YouTube channel. I actually started this YouTube channel back in I want to say like 2013, 2014. I put up one little video that was just, we didn't even have music. It was just like a slideshow of some pictures, coon dog pictures I had. And I don't know, about a little over a year ago, like a year and 2 or 3 weeks ago from today, decided I wanted to start filming my hunts just a little bit. And, really didn't think anything of it besides I'm going to film them and maybe we'll get 50 or 60 people on here that'll think it's cool. That was all there was to it. And here we are a year later, 1,800 subscribers. And, as far as I can tell, that's the most subscribers any coon hunting YouTuber has got in a year's time. So, we're highly impressed by the support and the love that we're getting from people, and humbled, extremely humbled. You guys have no clue just how humble this makes us. We didn't think anybody would be into us like this and watching our videos. And that's going to roll me on to my next subject. And guys, continue asking questions. I'll get to them here in just a minute. I got a few things I want to say, and then we'll roll into the questions, I promise. A couple days ago, we actually done a poll on YouTube. YouTube actually started letting me just post things like a poll or a statement, and we've done 2 things on that here recently. And I really love this tool because one of my biggest issues that I personally have, I have 2 issues. One, I can't reach out to everybody on YouTube and get feedback of what you guys want to see from us. Not only do we want to show you how we hunt and what goes on with our hunts and stuff, but we actually want to give you what you want to have. And looking at other guys with these YouTube channels and stuff, they do some awesome great stuff, and I ain't down on nobody at all, but from what I'm seeing, everybody's showing a lot of coon kills, which is awesome. I'm glad they are. But as a lot of people know, coon hunting's not always like it. You're not going to kill coon after coon after coon. So basically, I asked on here, I put up a poll, and you could vote. And I said, what do you guys want to see? Because recently, we lost all of our private land. We're having to hunt just game land. And because of work schedule and stuff, we're not getting to hunt as much as we want to. And when we do hunt, because it's a game land, and it's kind of hunted up right now, we haven't been treating that many coons. We actually been hunting, and Hyde's a good dog. If he goes in the woods and he don't strike nothing, and he don't ever come back, I actually have to pull him out when he gets off property or it's been in there for a long time. If I pull him back and he never said a word, there wasn't nothing in there. So we've done a lot of videos like that recently, and I just wasn't putting them up because I thought, you guys probably wouldn't want to see stuff like that. It's not that entertaining as what I would imagine it would be. So I didn't even post them up. So I put the poll up. I said, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see every single hunt we make, good or bad? Do you guys want to see kind of like 50-50? If you put up a couple good ones, put up a couple bad ones, or do you want to see just the good hunts or just the bads, or do you want to do gear reviews or training tips? What kind of videos you want to see? And it was like almost 90% of everybody voted. I think there's almost 200 votes on this thing right now, said that they wanted to see every single hunt. I thought that was really cool. I'm like, man, okay, that's cool. Everybody wants to see every single hunt. Well, I didn't notice, but down below that, there was actually a section where people could comment. And I woke up, I went hunting one night, and it was a real crappy hunt. I can't remember what exactly happened. Anyway, I come home, I was down out. I was just down out. I was like, man, the hunting season's just really not going good. This really sucks. And I'm just like, man, I gotta do something different. I ain't had this bad of a hunting season in probably 6 years. This has been really bad, and this is because of land access. I woke up one morning and pulled out my phone. I always check my notifications and stuff, message people back or whatever. And I went to see how many votes was on this poll. And when I got to looking down on the poll, it had comments. I was like, man, I didn't even know people could comment. I read down those comments, and I don't know, here, we got time, guys. I hate to hold you up on this, but I'm going to read you some of these comments. And this stuff right here blew me away. It honestly did. Like Timber Hill said, hunting ain't always easy when it's limited to WMA. Somebody's got to be honest. You have a great channel. Keep up honesty and great videos. And then Cyrus Woodard said, low land is better than no land. Meat or not, that's the hunt reality of things. Good for tough man. Ronnie Hill said, because some young hunter could learn from, he said, post all your hunts because some young hunter could learn from the bad nights. Still don't give up because you have a bad night. Just goes along with coon hunting. Austin knows the ground said, see it all. Once said that you won't show tree after tree. So show that makes you love coon hunting, all the blood, sweat, and tears, and all the lonesome nights and the long ones. Show the ones that make you want to pull your hair out, and show the ones of your dogs pulling the hair out of the coon. And it goes on and on. David Nichols here, he says, I love all your videos, training tips, gear reviews, all the good and the bad, plus the live Q&As. Hey, quit barking over. Abby's over here barking. Let's see here. I don't know. A lot of people was talking. Mario Latrell here says, good or bad coon hunting ain't always the best, so a little bad mixing with the good's always nice. People just kept commenting, basically show everything, because you need to represent coon hunting the way it really is, and it's not going out night after night knocking out 2 or 3 plus coons. Even like my buddy here, Curtis, he's our field staff up in Indiana. The other night, he went to den after den after den. They got piles of coon. So what we're going to do, guys, basically off that, it was startling results. But when I woke up and read all that stuff, and I was so down and out and depressed, man, this like uplifted my spirits. I was like, man, these people, they understand, they get me. They're not, they want us to just show who and what we are, and they want to see our struggle. So you guys want to see our struggle, and that just bona fides that you guys are not like family. And I'm telling you guys, it really humbled me. It set me back. It made me feel good. It made me feel proud of what we've accomplished here. So that's what we're going to do. One thing I'll tell you guys, we have never edited a video to make it better than they are. I mean, if it shows a coon, that was a coon in that hunt. If we walk up and it's a slick tree, I've showed a slick. If it was honestly a den, I call it a den. We've never edited something to make it seem what it is not actually. But now what I have done is I've thrown videos away. When I went out and filmed one, it was like, man, that That kind of sucked. You know, there was no trees. I trashed them. That's gonna be over with, guys. The Nightlife family spoke, and from now on, I'm gonna vow, I'm gonna put up all the hunts that I film in a complete entirety. Now, sometimes I go out and hunt, and like hide gets near the road or something, or a landowner comes out, and like halfway through my filming, I have to hurry up and grab dogs, throw them in the truck, whatever. I don't get to do an outro. Something like that where it's not a complete hunt, I won't put it up. But if it's a complete hunt from the intro to the exit on the tailgate, and there's, you know, something to be had from it, if nothing else, there's showing you guys how hard coon hunt really is, especially for the people who's never been, we're going to go ahead and put them up, guys. So we have a new motto. This is something that I hold dear to me, and I hope this, guys, is a motto that you'll respect us for. Nightlife Kennel, we're real coon hunters, not celebrities with big egos. We're going to remain humble in the pursuit to provide accurate, honest, and realistic evidence of the night-to-night hurdles, stumbling blocks, and victories of coon hunting. So that's what we're going to do, guys. From now on, you're going to get to see it all, good and bad. We're not going to hold the bad back from you. We're going to let you know how things really are. So, hope this is okay with you guys. Everybody seemed to speak out and say, give it to us like it comes, Nick, and that's what we're going to do. So, I'm going to go ahead and scroll back here. We'll check on, let's see here. Oh, Curtis says, hey, Nick, out hunting in the rain. New pup just treated first coon. Awesome, buddy. Cody Mathis, how you doing? Oh, David said, yeah, I heard of it. It's in the Nightlight catalog, I think, talking about the Mighty Max Squaller. Austin says the Mighty Max is aluminum, which is a downside. It gets extremely cold to the touch. JCs are better quality in the build, but the tone is better. Or the tone's the same, he says. Redbone Mike. Hey, Nick, great videos. Appreciate you, buddy. Jacob Smith says hi. Wise Warrior Path. That's our Canadian brethren up there. Wonderful rainy night to all. David Nichols said he loves these Q&As. Have a great channel. I appreciate your support, buddy. Isaac Smith says, hey, just got on. How you doing? Appreciate it, Austin. Said he got my back. Said loves us not because of our dogs. Thank you. Billy Joe, how you doing? How's that pup from y'all got from I can't believe I forgot their names there. Jewel Boys. That's another thing. I hope the Jewel Boys are doing okay. I hadn't talked to them in a week or so. Brandon Taylor. Hey, West Tennessee in the house. Gary Savage says, hey, the Walker dogs are loaded up. Heading to the timber, I reckon. Oh, David Nichols says he agrees with Austin. Austin says, wasn't the dog made me want a friendship? I appreciate it, buddy. Chad Pannenbecker says, hey, man, I want to see the good and the bad and the ugly. I'm new to coon hunting, so all the advice I can get, the better. Chad, I appreciate you, buddy. And also, Chad, if you're new to me, we also have a Facebook channel page as well, Nightlife Kennel. And if you have Instagram, we're also on there at Nightlife Kennel. So be sure, if you're on any social media out there, look me up. And Chad, if you need to, you can always message me on Facebook if you have any questions about anything. I'm not an expert, but I have learned a thing or two, and I will try my best to give you any good advice I can. Derek Baker says, got a cold front coming in, lots of snow, they'll lay up. Yep. Yeah, one thing you'll learn, like where I live especially, when it gets real bitter cold and you got bad weather coming in, a lot of times the coons, they'll den next to a creek. And my grandpa taught me this. This is an old trick. I didn't know this until he taught me this. But he said you'll end up with a lot of just slam trees, and there'll be dens. There'll be no track to them. And what happens around here, now I don't know other parts of the country, Western North Carolina though, a lot of times, especially late in winter where there's no food, a coon, instead of getting out in bad weather, will actually just, when he gets hungry, he'll get down, he'll go to the nearest creek, which is generally pretty close to his den tree. He will drink him some water, and he'll actually eat wet leaves that are laying in the creek and stuff his belly, so his belly don't feel hungry, and then he'll crawl back up in his den, and he'll sit there till weather breaks or till a better time to go feed. But a lot of times that is later on in the winter, like January and February and stuff like that. So, but it's a cool trick, and it is true. My grandpa taught me that one. Wise Warriors Path. I love your vids, training tips, stuff you do with the dogs. Not just about showing you in the bush. Honestly, channels like yours. Better do not. You got groupies, you got friends, family, and community. Yeah, that's what we try to do. This hashtag Nightlife Family we put out there, we take it seriously. That's not a catchphrase. It's not a marketing ploy. That's how we feel about you guys. So, Chad, get you some good walking boots. Make sure they're light. It helps a lot. Yeah. Chad, whereabouts do you live, buddy? How old are you? If you would, guys, we got 3 likes on here. There's 37 people watching. If you will, reach down there right now, click that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Anytime you guys like any of my videos or you comment on my videos, it helps us rank higher with YouTube. And basically what that means is anybody who is new to coon hunting channels or to us, whenever they go on their YouTube channel, will actually show up on their newsfeed as a suggested video to watch. So the likes and the shares and the comments mean a ton, and they help me out greatly. Derek Baker, thank you for your advice. I try to follow every chance I get in Northeast Missouri here. Good to see you, buddy. Billy Joe says she's great. Treat on drag this week. Yeah, I think I seen a picture where y'all were working. Is her name Chloe? Is that correct? I'm bad with names, so. Chad, Hartford, North Carolina, in my 40s. Hertford, North Carolina. Is that toward the coast? Or is that middle of the state, buddy? I'm in Harrison County, North Carolina. I'm on the western end. Yep, Timber Hill says when it's extremely cold and bright out, coons hang by the dens. Well, a lot of den trees, yeah. Full moon out right now, even if it wasn't bad weather. It is pouring rain and actually sleeting here right now. It's supposed to start sticking to the road here, but it's pretty cold today. I actually do landscaping, so I work out in the weather nonstop all the time. And I'm telling you, today it was one of the coldest days I've worked in so far this season. So we was actually doing a grading job today of fixing a culvert pipe goes underneath a road with a creek coming in, and was laying riprap around the creek and stuff so it wouldn't wash. I mean, it was bitter cold. Hands just freezing, holding rocks and stuff, and it was cold. And I thought, man, whatever comes down tonight is going to stick to the roads for sure, because the roads were not warm. West Virginia says, what kind of camera equipment you use to film your hunts? Well, like my intros and my tailgate footage at the end, a lot of times I've got a Canon M50. It's a mirrorless camera. It's a really nice camera. They around $700 to $900 depending on where you get them. That's what I use for that stuff. I have actually towed it through the woods a few times. Let me see if I got it with me. I don't have the camera. The camera is actually on charge somewhere else right now. But a lot of times I'll mount my camera on this thing right here. This is an external mic that plugs into the camera, and it helps me. Basically, that camera sits right here just like this, and I'll go through the woods and film with this. But sometimes, like if I know where I'm going to be hunting at, it's got a lot of brush, or if I know I'm going to be crossing rivers or something like that, that camera's not waterproof. So, like, I still do quite a bit of filming with my phone. I just, the camera on this thing is high quality. This is a Samsung S8. I use that, and also, let's see here. I've got a GoPro Hero 5 a little bit, but I hate the audio on them. And then I've got a little action camera that come from Walmart. It's like $180 or something like that. So I've got 3 or 4 different camera options that I use. Back in the early days when I first started, probably for the first 6-7 months, it was just my phone. And, that's what most of the footage you guys have seen before. Chad says, coast. How's your coon hunting there, bud? Yep, also says, Chad, 2 of us need to go hunting one night. Sounds fun. Jacob says I inspired him to get in a coon hunt. Appreciate it, buddy. I hope I wasn't a mistake. Hope I ain't ruined you. Scared you off from it. I tell you, it gets rough sometimes. Brent Soap, yeah. Brent Soap asked if I've ever thought about doing a live coon hunting. Yes, I have, Brent. My only issue is 9 times out of 10 where a hunt has no cell service. I have seriously thought about doing that, and if I had cell service, I would. The game land here where I'm hunting at right now does not have cell service. The game land I hunt in South Carolina does not have any cell service. The private land that I want access to hunt after the first year has pretty decent cell service. So after the first year, we might try one of those. but it's definitely something that we've been wanting to do. Derek says, ever run a GoPro on a hound? I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I have not, but I thought about doing that myself. My only issue with that is it's at nighttime, so I don't know how good the footage that would actually be. I thought about running one of my dad's beagles in the daytime, because there's the harnesses and stuff for dogs and everything. But at nighttime, it'd be cool for some kind of night vision camera you could put on a dog. That would be really cool. If you could get the footage of the dog running up on the tree and stuff, that'd be pretty neat. But it'd have to be night vision. The GoPro just wouldn't see too much because it's dark. But let's see. Larry says, "Why do you use the Sport Dog tracking system instead of the Garmin?" Larry, let's see here. Let me get my numbers right. It was probably 3 years ago or so, maybe a little more than that. I was actually an all Garmin guy. I had the 220, I had the 320, I had 220 briefly. And I moved up to the 320, and then I got the Alpha as soon as it come out. And I run the Alpha probably for 2 years. And my issue I had with the Alpha, it seemed like every few months I had a collar bust or break, or not bust, but something went wrong with it, and I had to send it off and have it fixed. And it was there was always some little issue. But I thought, well, that's all there is. That's better than the old telemetry beep beep systems. So that's what I ran. My buddy was field staff, pro staff with Sport Dog brand, and they had just come out with the Tech 2. They had Tech 1.0, and it was a good tracking system, but it had no maps, so it didn't sell too good. They came out with the Tech 2.0 that had full mapping capabilities, and me and him hunted together, and he come up to me and he said, here is a whole system, Tech 2.0. He said, I want you to take this, and he said, I want you to literally field test this against the Garmin. He said, I want you to put Garmin collar and the Sport Dog collar both on the same dog, and I want you to hunt with it all season long. He said, report back in night by night if you want to, or however, and tell me what you think. He said, I want to know whether it tracks better. I want to know if it tracks worse. I want to know if one thing on the Garmin's better or this on the Sport Dog's better. He said, I want to know absolutely everything. He said, after a season, he said, you just give it back to me. I said, okay, we can do that. So anyway, I did that with him for about a year, and it was a season. Actually, I was about a month into that thing, and I was like, man, this Sport Dog was out tracking my Garmin here in the mountains of western North Carolina. And now it may not do that in other places, but where I hunted, it was out tracking the Garmin. I get about 1,000 yards on the Garmin, and I was consistently getting like a mile, maybe 1,500 yards. 17 something is a mile. I'd get 1,500 yards. I'd easily get over 1,000 yards every time. And I'll never forget one night we was actually running, and Hyde went up a holler, and he went to the top of a ridge, and it was 1,000 yards from me to the top of the ridge. I had him on the Garmin and the Sport Dog watching both the handhelds at the same time. He went over the top of the ridge. The Garmin dropped him. As soon as he went over, he went to it was 1,200 yards over. He treed. I had him the whole time. I got in my truck. I looked on there. There was a road not far from him. I drove around. At the farthest, I was 1.2 miles away from him in the truck with the windows up, hold my handheld with just the regular antenna that comes on the handheld, and I still had him on the tracking system. And anyway, after the season was up, I went back to give it to Kim, and I said, man, I want to get one of these. And he's like, well, you can have that one. And then I turned my results into him. He turned them in the Sport Dog brand, and then after that, they actually reached out to me and told me that they want me to be pro staff for them. So through that whole entire process, I didn't get paid a dime. There was no bias on anything, and that's how that whole went down. And ever since then, getting to know the company, getting to know the men who own the company, it's owned and ran by dog hunters. They don't do GPS for fishing. They don't do aviation GPS. They don't do, watches to run with. Sport Dog is hunting dog equipment owned, designed, and made for hunting dog men by hunting dog men. And that's what I like about it. They stand behind the product, and they really care. So that's the reason why. Let's see here. Wise Warrior says, sometimes when a dog has a tree, but you don't see the coon, but the dog still goes wild, could it mean the coon's in a nest in that tree? Might get this lots of winter. Yeah, a lot of time, Wise Warrior, answer your question, a lot of times we'll look around, and if there seems to be a hole in the tree, a coon can put its whole body in a hole the size of your fist. and I got a big fist. So, I'm talking about average size fist, because all it's got to do is basically get skull through. If it can get its skull through, the body will go through. So a lot of small holes will actually fit a coon inside of them, especially around here. Now up north, fatter coons, different story. So a lot of times we come up to a tree, if we see a hole, depending on our dog, I always give high benefit of the doubt when I see a hole, because he's a very accurate dog. If you come up and you don't see a hole in the tree, you can see every limb on it, and you just know it's not on the outside. You don't see a squirrel's nest. We also consider that a slick tree. You're welcome, Cooner. Mario said, looking good in the Twilight colors. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. I don't know if you anybody else here that's new, possibly. This right here is our new Twilight Edition Nightlife hoodie, and we got Nightlife hats. I had these made. This is last. We had a Nightlife beanie made as well. This one's actually getting ready to ship out. I had one person order it, and that was my last one. Getting ready to go out. But these are our Nightlife Edition colors. These hoodies got the logo here. It's got the American flag on this side. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's got the big logo on the back. These are 2-color logos instead of like the old t-shirts we had that were 1 color. They cost a little more, but these are good high quality hoodies, and they're printed on 3 sides, and we're really proud of these. These things have sold like crazy. I've only got about half of what I ordered left, and it's only been up for about a week. So these are doing awesome. Also, we have Nightlife Twilight Edition 6-inch logo decals and 3-inch. A lot of these guys use these 3-inch to put on the side of their bump caps. I've got them like on my Yeti cup and stuff like that. Also, we have Nightlife Twilight Edition vehicle tags. You get them in black with the blue logo. I don't know if you guys have been on the website. We have vehicle tags, pretty much all of our color decals on them though. So we're really proud of these. These things are selling like crazy. I didn't think beanies would sell as fast as they have. I went through like 40 something of these in no time. It blew my mind. I've got more ordered. Should be here very soon. Smoky Mountain Outdoors, what's your thought on feeders? I have no problem with feeders. Well, I don't have a problem with feeders. I got a problem, if you want to know my opinion. Here, I'm going to make some people upset, and I'm sorry. Let me get on my soapbox. I've heard coon hunters say that you don't need feeders. If you have to put up a feeder to make a dog, you're doing something wrong. Here's the key to all that. Every single one of them I've heard say that hunt cornfields, or they hunt a deer food plot where there's like radishes or something planted in the ground, or they're hunting an oak ridge they know slam full of acorns. Every guy out there that coon hunts and knows how to coon hunt hunts food sources, okay? And I'm telling you right now, if you got a piece of property with no food sources on it, and that's the only property you have, you need to put some food on that property to draw the coons in. Now, with that being said, that does not mean you should hunt on that feeder. If you've got a pup that needs to get started and you have no cornfields to hunt like some people, or you don't have a hedgerow slam full of grapevines early season, or you don't have an oak ridge full of acorns, then turn your pup near your feeder. Don't turn them right on. Don't walk up within 20 yards and cast on that feeder. Cast 100, 200 yards off of that feeder and try it how it goes. Now, once your dog gets started, like we're talking about a young pup, once they get started and do it on their own, either one, take the feeder down, or let the feeder run dry and sit there with no feed in it for a week or two and have your dog have to work harder. Then if you notice coons leave property, whatever, put some feed in it. That's how I would do it. Don't hunt the feeder right on it, but putting up a feeder to have coons on your property is no different than these guys out here hunting the side of cornfields, hunting oak ridges with acorns or whatever. You got to have food source to have coons. So that's my opinion. And to be honest with you guys, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing these guys throw off on people for putting up feeders. Oh, if you got a feeder, you shouldn't have to have a feeder. Okay, well, quit turning your dog into a cornfield. So that's my soapbox there for you guys. Robert Tackett, what's going on, buddy? He got some hoodies and beanies in the mail. Oh, another thing, too, we sent out those mystery orders a little over a week ago. I hope everybody's got them. I hope everybody who did get them was happy with what was in them. Wise Warrior says for GoPro, get a light on it. It will shine directly toward forward, and will night vision. You with night vision, you will see some interesting stuff while they're out there. Make sure that thing can get caught on any brush. So yeah, we've thought about that. David says hopefully someone in my family ordered me some gear from Nightlife for Christmas. Brandon Taylor, anyone else feel the struggle running a young dog? I took my Jip out the other night. She struck in on some water. Long story short, as I made my way across the creek, I fell in a deep beaver run cold. Yeah, Brandon, I've not had that struggle recently, but I've got Nick started, and the problem I'm having with Nick is she'll blister a track, and when I think she's about the tree, she quits. But it's a new thing, so she's just started, and hunting her by herself. I'm gonna put in hide with her a little bit so he can make sure he can show her how to stick them. But yeah, the young pup thing is a struggle. That's how it goes, though. Jacob says my new pup I bought looks and acts just like Tough. He's not really a pup though. He's 16 months old. That's still young. That's still a young dog. I'd say under two is a pup, is the way I consider it. I mean, if you think about it, okay, they say dogs are 7 years to our year. So when a dog's a year old, they're 7 years old. Well, if you think 16 months, you're pushing 2 years old. That'd be 14 years old in human years. I still consider a 14-year-old a kid. So David says, I think the Sport Dog 2.0 or any of these GPS systems is great, but my only thing I heard they only last for 24 hours, and that would be a problem for me. Yeah, the collars on pretty much anything out there right now is only going to last about 24 hours. And but with that being said, as long as you got signal, it shouldn't be an issue. You should be able to get to your dog. But I'll be honest with you guys, I've thought about investing in one of those beep collars, because them things last like 20,000 hours or something like that on a brand new battery. And the only reason why I thought about doing that is because you hunt so much game land stuff, you never know what could happen. Gary Savage says, you come down hunt with us in Kentucky. My dad really likes hide. He sees a really good mouth is accurate. Appreciate it, bud. That's another thing. We were supposed to go to Kentucky coon hunting. We're leaving next Friday. They're going to be gone through the 6th. And we got to looking on the weather, and it's pretty much calling for pouring rain the entire trip. And the last 2 days, it's supposed to be pouring snow. So our trip to Kentucky may get canceled or put off, which I hate that. I don't take vacations through the whole year because we do landscaping and stuff. We work daylight to near dark a lot of times, and I save my time is the fall. It's the hunting season, and that trip I make to Kentucky every year is like my big. A lot of people make a big beach trip. That's my big vacation every year. So if it gets canceled, that's gonna suck. But it is what it is. David said he lost his dogs for a week, and I did find them. But if I had GPS system on them, they would have went dead, right? Yep. He said he still uses the beeps. Yeah, a lot of times these big game houndsmen too. Like I know David, you hunt mountain lions and stuff. My cousin here, Mike Nichols, he hunts bear, and a lot of times, when you're hunting big game like that, especially in like mountainous terrain, you're getting miles out from your where you cast your dogs, and I don't care what tracking system it is in the mountains, you're not going to get 3-4 miles out of them. You're lucky to get a mile. I don't care what it is, Garmin, dog, or sport dog, don't matter. You're lucky to get a mile. So big game houndsmen like David here, and maybe some of you others, you got to run a secondary, a beep because it could take you. I mean, a dog gets out 4 or 5 miles away from you, you could easily lose them, and it could take you over 48 hours before you get into them. Robert, so why did my message get deleted? I got no idea, buddy. I seen that, and I was like, well, maybe you didn't mean to type something or whatever. I didn't do it, Robert. Robert, the only moderator is you, Miss Nightlife, and Stevie May. I don't think Stevie's on here, and Miss Nightlife is working. So, Robert, I got no idea, buddy. Apologize. Wise Warrior says, again, on the camera, it's possible you can get it hooked up to a device to follow it live. You work with people who make tech like that. You can mention them to design something like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't really work with anybody who does camera stuff, but yeah, I think it'd be cool. I really do. If we get a night vision camera, that would be the thing. Smoky Mountain Outdoors says, right on, brother. Appreciate your dedication to our heritage. Thank you. I do appreciate it. TJ, keep cutting the young dog. That's right. Jana Tackett, how you doing? Miss Tackett. She says she loves loving the hoodie and the beanie. They're even prettier in person. Thank you. Took a lot of pride in these guys. You see I'm wearing the hoodie and stuff right now. I took a lot of pride in these. I know it's not, we're not no apparel designer, blah, blah, whatever. We don't do red carpet crap and all that stuff. But, I just really enjoy this. We call it Twilight Edition because I was thinking, if you think about coon hunters are always looking for the twilight, that hour when it's right there at dark, it's just getting dark. And when you think about dark, colors that come to mind is, I don't know, to me is just blue and gray. That's what I think about is like what colors represent twilight hour, and it's blue and gray, and that's the reason why we want to do this. And maybe some of our Kentucky guys will love the colors. I know blue's Kentucky color. TJ says shoot coons out to them and get them going wild and do easy drag. That's good advice. Yeah, Austin also says he's got some private land poult to hunt on after the first. Yeah, Austin, I've got plenty of good land to hunt after the first year, so we'll get up there. Jacob asked, "What was your first dog?" I actually had, I had a pup. My first coon dog that was all mine. I had a pup. I called him Rimshot. I don't even remember him that well. I was like 8 years old, and he was off of one of the Yadkin River big stud dogs of that day. This was probably back in, this is like 94, 95. So whoever the big Yadkin River stud dog was at that time, I had a pup off of that dog. Got him up to about a year and a half. He lightly got started, and then I can't remember what happened. Ended up having to get rid of him, and I ended up getting some black and tans. I had a few black and tans after that. It's basically just whatever dog I could get given to me, that's what I went with. And the Yadkin River pup was given to me, and I ended up giving it to somebody else. I think I couldn't hunt it. My cousin, I went with him all the time, and for some reason I couldn't get to go with him like I wanted to, so it was better the dog to let it go. But yep, so it was a Latrine Walker, and it was a pup off of one of the Yadkin River studs around 94, 95. Mario says he was hunting last Saturday along one of the rivers here, and the dog had trees. When we got there, he was on a tree. He was along the edge of the river, and was shining across the river, and the coon was right across from where he was treed. Any explanation to why he would do that instead of crossing? I don't know, Mario. I mean, I've had dogs that didn't like to cross water before, and it could be, I don't know how big a river it was too. I've had dogs that would cross little rivers, but it seemed like it was raging. They didn't want to cross them. Depending on how that river was, Mario. Next time, pick him up, chunk him in the river, send him across if it seems safe. Now, if it's like Mississippi River or something like that, raging whitewater, don't do that. But if it's something like you could walk across knee deep, make that dog go. Chase says, what age you start doing drags? I actually don't really do drags. But if you was going to do drags, I'd say around the 4-month age mark, probably a good time to start. What I actually do is I'd start, you see Nix. Nix is 11 months old, and she just started, last video put up, she just started running her own tracks and solo. And Nix has never had a single drag put to her at all. So, and Nix has never had a coon knocked out to her. And she's 11 months old doing it. All I did was 4 months old, started taking her in the woods. And she hung out with me. And then she decided she wanted to go hang out with Hyde when he left. And she'd go a little ways, come back. And then she got to where she'd stay gone. And then she got where she'd go and get hung up. I'd go to Hyde and have to get her on the way. And then she's got doing what she's doing now, all in 11 months' time. TJ, come down to Meigs County, Tennessee, where zones are at. Every night I keep in good hunting. Sounds good. Revlo Outdoors says, question, what's a beep beep? Okay, back in the day, before GPS tracking systems come out, well, you had, all there was a telemetry system, and I don't have one here. I wish I could show you guys. But basically, you just had a collar to put on your dog. To turn it on and off, you had a sealed battery. You could not change the batteries, couldn't take the batteries out. The batteries coming from a factory like sealed and molded in plastic, but they lasted like 20,000 hours. It was ridiculous how long they lasted. You go could hunt years without having to change the battery. And it had like a little magnet on the side of it, and you pulled that magnet off, and that would turn the collar on. And you had these like boxes about yay big. I mean, they were, some of them was real big, some of them were this big, and then some of them got to be kind of small later on. And they had these big fold out antennas they called Yagi antennas. And you remember the old antennas up on houses that picked up the local channels? It reminded you of a smaller version of that. And you literally had a backpack that was like 3 foot long on your back that had the antenna folded up, put in it, and the box in it, and you was toting this huge thing on your back, and you wasn't sitting there looking at a screen all the time trying to track your dog. You'd cut your dog in there and just listen for them, and then if you didn't hear them, you need to look for them. You'd have to pull that antenna out, fold it out, screw it down, hook it up, and you would wave this thing around, and wherever you would point that antenna towards, if it was the same direction your dog was, your system would put out a beep, and it had like a little meter, like a signal strength meter, and the closer your dog was, the faster that thing would beep. Well, no, if your dog was treeing, it would beep faster. If your dog was just tracking, it would beep slower. And the stronger the signal strength was when it beeped, was closer the dog was. So you basically had to learn, like, I remember I had a Tracker Maxima. We call them beep beeps because they made a beeping noise. But I had a Tracker Maxima one time, and if you hit like, I can't remember what it was. If you hit full bars and you were like on one setting, you know your dog was like within 100 yards. If you were turned all the way up to 9, which means it reached out farther, and you were hitting full bars, you were like a mile or something away, and you just kind of had to learn it. And it was way better than having nothing, but it was still tricky to learn. And two, like in the mountains here, anytime you had a rock face, like if your dog was behind you, his collar would send out a signal and bounce off the rock face to you. So you would be picking up a beep in the opposite direction of your dog. And you had to kind of listen to it because it would be like kind of low tone. But if you turn the opposite direction, it would be a higher pitched beep. So you knew you was getting a false signal this way and your dog was really that way. And there was a huge learning curve to them, but it's better than nothing. So that's what we used. And basically they're telemetry systems, and people call them beep beeps. Goose Bama says hello from Alabama. LOL said Robert said I should have been training raccoons instead of coons. Yeah, I got called down for that too. John, my buddy, my cousin John from Oxford, North Carolina, 9-point on the ground. John, was that you or one of the youngins that done that? Gary says, how many albinos have you, I guess, treed? We treed one last week. I have never treed an albino. And the cinnamon coons, I've never treed one of them. But, like right before season, I actually ran one over on the road. And I wanted to have it mounted because I thought, man, that cinnamon coon is real cool. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to save that in case I ever tree one. I've actually took the cinnamon coon to get the hide tanned on it. Because I do want to keep it. But, you know, I didn't tree it. Chase, he got the red Sport Dog light, the beacon, says it works great. I don't have any of the reds, but these right here, guys, are the Sport Dog beacon lights. We put these on all of our collars. I have these in stock. If you're interested, nightlifekilling.com. Plus, if you want any hoodies, hats, I'm out of beanies. They'll be here in a week or two. We have nightlife tags. We have all kinds of stuff, guys. But if you're interested in any of this stuff like the Sport Dog beacon, go to my website, nightlifekilling.com. We have them on there. Let's see. Brett Soap says, have you always been a walker man, or have you had any other breeds? I've always preferred walkers. I've had a couple black and tans, had a couple red bones. I've never owned a blue tick. I've hunted with a lot of them. A buddy of mine I used to hunt with had blue ticks. Let's see. I've hunted with a few English dogs, red ticks. Never owned any of those though. But what you hear my little chihuahua over here barking. Abby, what do you want? Come here. Come here. She's fussing. But yeah, I've always preferred treeing walkers. And the main reason why is I grew up rabbit hunting with my dad, and he had beagles, and a lot of beagles are tricolored. So I'm partial to the tricolor. It's more the color and the look of the dog than me thinking it's better than anything else. I like the looks of them. Timbriel said her husband treated an albino years ago, took it to get tan, and the dude kept it. That's crazy. Jacob says, yeah, I was looking for one. I just wanted a walker black tan or pull out my cousin used to bear and hog hunt, so I decided to do one of those. So I came back to walkers. Wise Warrior Path. I do not know what your region is and the sort of wildlife you got, but has your dogs ever been jumped on the hunt by predators? I've seen scary footage of dogs getting hit by wolves in northern lands. We don't have any wolves here. We have bobcat, bear, and we have plenty of coyotes. That's our main predators. You guys can jump on this whether you want to or not. A lot of guys around here say we do have mountain lions that come through. I've seen the evidence of it myself. Never seen one. Got a lot of people I know and trust that have seen them. But I wouldn't consider that as a common predator. But yeah, bears, bobcats, and coyotes we have plenty of. And we have had coyotes come into a tree before, but they've never really messed with our dogs. They never pushed them off. I don't know. There's a lot of times I hear coyotes. I've been with guys before, and coyotes sound off in distance for you're gonna cut dogs. We're like, oh man, I'm gonna cut, and I cut the dog. I don't care. We're gonna hunt anyway. So, but now wolves will be a totally different story. Jackson says I got a blue dog named Ace. I like that name. Guys, we're up to 17 likes, 33 watching. If you will, please click that thumbs up button right now. I would greatly appreciate it. The more likes we have, the better we rank on YouTube, which allows us to be discovered by people who do not know about us. So we appreciate the hitting the thumbs up. Roll them up there. Thank you. TJ says those Marshall collars was real deals. Last beep beeps I had before Garmin DC, I guess 220 came out. Also had a Wildlife 3 channel. Yep. David Nichols, yeah, there's a lot of guessing with the beep beep. But once you got it down, you're good, he says. And yeah, I was getting a bouncing this morning, but I figured it out. Yeah, once you get them going, you're good to go. Cousin John gave him a 9 point. White gave him a Delicious. Old slickhead. Congrats, White. I'm glad you let your dad finally kill a buck. You've been out there whacking all them bucks. You ain't let your dad have none. So, good man. David Nichols says, I like the non-directional antenna. You can hook it up when you're driving around trying to find your dog. Yeah, I never used the non-directional before. Or is that the Yagi, I guess you're talking about? Mario says, talking about mounting coons, I had one mounted, and not going to lie, it was a horrible mount. And the wife moved in, she made me throw it away. Said it gave her nightmares. Hunter says, do a coon catch and cook. Yep, we are going to do that. TJ says, what's your dogs out of? Hide goes back to Hillbilly Deluxe, which goes back to Clover. My jug dog, he is off of Nightlife Nightlife Bozo, which was off of my Nightlife Jug Dog. Those go back to, oh man, Fat and asked me. They go back to Cowie Creek Clint, some of those old stock dogs. And then Nix, she's off of Texas and Roxy, I think it is. Yep, which goes back to a lot of the Cowie Creek, I think Finley River, a lot of the old stock dogs. So a lot of my stuff goes back to old stock. Except for Hyde, he's off Hillbilly Deluxe, which is pretty common dog to have. It goes back to Clover. I really don't pay much attention to the bloodlines. When I bought Hyde, I had no clue what he's off of and did not care. I took him out, give a 2-week trial on him, and the guy handed me papers, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I've since grown kind of like the bloodline. I like the stuff that goes back to Clover, but I did not care, and I still don't care what dogs are out of when I go to buy them. Wise Warrior says, I got some red bones. Since I got red bones, how were your red bones and what was the difference between the other breeds you had? Juan Walker in particular. The red bones I had, they weren't no good. I couldn't even get them to leave my feet. I had 2 of them, and to be honest with you, they were kind of like a rescue situation. I knew some guys that wanted rid of them, and they just wouldn't treat them right, and I was like, I'll take them, I'll feed them, and I'll find some homes for them. And I tried hunting them. I was like, I got them. I'll try hunting them. And they just wasn't in. I'm not saying it's a breed thing. It could just been the way those dogs were previously trained because they was 2 or 3 years old when I got them, so I had no chance to actually put any training on them. Walkers, I love the colors of them. When I got into coon hunting, everybody I knew was not hunting a walker. I don't know. I'm always the guy. I would rather do what everybody else is not doing. I don't like to follow the crowd. And everybody I knew that was hunting when I was a kid, plots, black tans, whatever. Nobody had walkers, so I got walkers. That's what I preferred. And I didn't know it until after the fact that it was really popular. With a lot of like competition hunters and whatnot around the country. But Jacob says coyotes in our pasture. They've killed some of our horse here in North Georgia. That's crazy. He says, when I bought my walker, he didn't have his pup papers sent out. I'm trying to officially name him through his papers. How can I find a dam and sire pedigree? That's going to be hard to do. You're going to have to go to who you had him from or who had the sires. It can be about impossible to track that down sometimes, Jacob. What you may have to do is single registry, which means you have to get in touch with the Tree and Walker Association. You have to send pictures in of him. They got a whole list of instructions of what you'll need to do, and then they'll have to come out and look at him, and they'll have to verify they think he's full-blooded Tree and Walker, and then you can single register him. It means you can get a set of papers on him, but we'll not have any back pedigree on him, so it won't tell who his parents are because they got no way of knowing. Rooster Tail says, when you breed for pups, do you prefer a title dog or whatever suits you? I prefer because when it goes to sale, I'm not out to make money, but when I breed, I'm honestly, if I'm going to breed, and I do want to breed hide soon, probably next year, I'm out to breed to get a pup, and side effect of that is selling the rest of them, and you can't hardly sell them. To time you put shots in a pup and say they get worming, you got to take care of that or any other kind of health issues, and you feed them up to 8 weeks, and sometimes you got them till they're a lot older than that before you can move them down the road. You got so much money in them, you need to be able to sell them to get some of your money back, and a lot of times you're not even making no money on them. So having a registered dog that you breed to, that helps you with all that. So that's one reason why I prefer it. Plus, I'm going to keep one of them myself, and just for the fact I want them registered, the one I keep. David says he had one big coyote try to jump my dogs one night. I had two, and he tried to get them when they were by themselves. When I got to my big walker female, he got a fight. Then she came back too, and I saw him behind her. That's crazy. I'll tell you a story about my buddy while we're on the subject of coyotes. My buddy Kim went down there in South Carolina one time, and his dog Zip, he's 7, 8 years old. He's tried and true dog. True as the day is long. Won't run no trash. Won't tree no trash. He struck coon one night and blistered straight line for like a mile. I mean a straight line. And Kim's jaw about hit the ground. He's like, this dog ain't never run trash before, and it's got to be a deer, or something, just leaving the country. So here he is getting ready to roll up a shocker dog, and the dog stops. The dog don't move. And he's saying, what's going on here? He drives around, gets kind of close to him, and when he does, the dog still hadn't moved. He walks in there, and what had happened was a coyote had killed a coon, heard Zip cutting in the woods, and took off. Well, Zip, smelling the coon, took off tracking the coon in the path it went. The coyote was holding the coon in its mouth. When Kim got there, the coyote and Zip were like 20 or 30 yards apart, and they were both panting, both tired, and they were at a standstill. And Zip's like, you got my coon, and the coyote's like, you ain't gonna have this coon. And anyway, Kim was gonna shoot the coyote, and before he could get his gun out, the coyote bolted. But so it kind of looked bad on old Zip, but come find out, Zip was true. There was a coon taking off. So if it hadn't been for that coyote doing it. Gary says his dad had Yadkin River Harley. Yadkin River was a big name back in the day. Woodrow Smith says they had an antenna that dogs got a pocket you could hook up and use till you got to where the meter was pegging high, then hook up the Aggie. Yeah. David said, wasn't Bozo from that hardwood line? I had some of that line. The Bozo you're talking about probably was, but the Bozo that Tough comes off of was Nightlife Bozo. He was actually off my jug dog. He never made no name for himself or anything like that. He was just a local dog, and that's the reason why I got Tough was Bozo accidentally bred a female, and Jug. I knew Jug was kind of on his way out of here, and I thought, well, I'd sold all the pups. I bred Jug one time, and I sold all the pups, and I wish I hadn't have. And I knew Jug was on his way out, and I wasn't ever going to be able to breed him again. And then when I found out that one of the pups, Bozo, lived just down the road, had bred another litter, bred a female, and a litter was coming. I'd already put a deposit on Nick's. I didn't even have room for two pups, but I thought I need to get this pup. I need to get Tough because, I know Jug's gonna die one day pretty soon. So I went down there and put a deposit on Tough too, and it was pretty bad because it was like I can't remember if it was right before I went and got Tough or right after, but Bozo ended up getting ran over. And so that's honestly the only litter of grand pups off my dog Jug, the only litter, and I got one of them. So, but the Bozo you're talking about, I'm sure was off hardwood line, but not the one I'm talking about. Tia said I had a little stylish Dolly gold chain female. She was won her super stakes, bred to Clint a million times. That's cool. Brent Soap said, my uncle just got a bone collector pup. Do you know how good that breed is? I've heard a lot of good bone collector. I've never had any. I've known a couple of guys that got bone collectors and have not been very impressed with them. But I know some people who have and love them. We were actually looking for a bone collector female to breed high to at one time. And we looked at a couple and they just wasn't up to snuff. But they're pretty good dogs. But they're more competition dogs than pleasure dogs. Kari said, did you see the video I sent you? I'm not sure, buddy, honestly. Resend it to me. I get so many messages, Kari, sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. So if I didn't respond to something, I do apologize. Don't take it personally, buddy. I generally try my best to, but I get caught up sometimes, get behind. So resend that to me if you will. Let's see here. Jacob says, we got his application for permanent registration papers. Just hadn't sent him in yet. Okay, I got you. TJ says, Jacob, PKC registering for $25. Austin says, hey, bud, back for a minute. I'm going to take the car and take Maggie hunting up Pullins here in a bit. You want to tag along? I'll message you when we head down. Yeah, holler at me. I'm not saying I'll go, but I might. It's still raining here. I hear it out there. Had to see how the roads are. Gary Savage, have you ever heard of Rat Attack? My dog is grandson of him. Yeah, I actually there was a dog off of Rat Attack called Hardwood Elvis. He was out of Waddy, Kentucky. Wesley Sanford owned that dog. I actually had a female. I had the last female. Elvis, that Elvis dog was supposed to be known as the world's smartest walker dog. And I had the last female ever bred off of him. She was a grandson of Rat Attack. She was a really good dog. And then they're about 4 years of age. She actually got her hormones got messed up. That's what doctor said. And it was she was ruined. But yeah, the Rat Attack dog was pretty good. Timothy Morgan says, I use coon dog bred hounds to hunt bobcats and lions here in Colorado. Love Hickory Nut Harry and my blood and my walkers. Yep, Hickory Nut's good. Brandon Taylor, if you ever get the opportunity to come down to Tennessee, you should try to hunt Lamb Between the Lakes. It's a big place, lots of good timber. If you had a good cur, tons of fox squirrel there too. Brandon, that's actually where I'm supposed to go next Friday. We make a annual trip every year to Lamb Between the Lakes. I'm supposed to go there next Friday and be there through sometime in the following week, but I don't think we're going to get to go because of weather. Let's see here. TJ says, I believe the coon hunting monkey over coyote story. It's true, man. It's true. Mario says, the dog Bozo you're talking about, who was the owner? Oh, man. I might can look it up. He's a local guy. He lives down in Buffalo, South Carolina. I think it's something Elliott, maybe. Hang on, guys. I'll try to look it up real quick here. I don't want to take a lot of all this time. Neil Elliott. Neil Elliott was Bozo's owner. He lived in Buffalo, South Carolina, which is down near Union, South Carolina. Chase says, in other ways to tell your dog is run the fox besides going in a big circle. Any other ways? No, not that I know of. That's about the best way. Big circles, foxes, or deer. So, well, tighter circles probably for deer. But. David said he saw coyotes come up behind around him in a residential street, and I saw it duck into the woods. But not where my dogs were. Thought nothing of it until I heard something crazy going on in the woods. Yeah. I've been in the middle of the woods before, and them things get in a fight, like 30 yards from me, my tree stand stuff. It's crazy. Kari says the one where the dog's on a tree. I can't remember, but honestly, resend that to me, though. Please do. David said Cody up there with Kentucky Cooner had a bone collector pup. I believe he did not suit for him. He sold it. Yep. Jacob. Yeah. Okay, buddy. I'll look at that. Jacob, I'll look at your video when I get off of here. My dog's Gary says my dog's dad is Tequila Sunrise. I've heard of that one for sure. Jana says we was thinking about going, but it's supposed to start raining here at 11 and rain all night long. The one night that's not so cold that I can stand it. It rains. I'm about to give it up. Don't give up. TJ says Elvis was as goofy as Wesley. Ha ha. I tell you, I went up there and I seen Elvis' dog when I went to get them pups. And as far as like commands, sit, stay, roll over, and all that stuff, the dog was very smart. How it hunted, I don't know. I watched the old pup, Treat My Dog, Treat My Pup DVDs that Wesley did with Elvis, and that's what sold me on the dog. But that was back before I knew a lot of stuff. Now the dog handles great though, but I'll be honest with you, the dogs I got now handle just as good. They don't shake my hand, they don't roll over, but I don't need them to. So Mario says that dog ever been to Virginia? I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I doubt it. Dog was only like 2.5 years old or something like that whenever it bred that female. So yeah, Austin, holler at me. Let's see. Jacob says, when you buy pups, do you find them on UKC forums or where do you find them? I just know a lot of people, Jacob, and I just kind of put the feeler out there. I say, hey, I'm looking for pups or whatever. And I got a lot of guys that know me, know what I'm looking for, and they say, I got so-and-so that's got something. That's like, actually, Miss Nightlife found me Nick's. I was, me and her was talking about we need to get a pup. I want to get a female because I have horrible lucks with females. I really do. I have horrible lucks with training females, and it's a curse I want to break. And her dad was friends with Tommy Lanning, and I didn't even know Tommy, and but said that they had some pups, and I hit Tommy, got talking to him, and come to find out, the Texas dog, which is Nick's dad, his sire, he was a semen pup off of some real old bloodlines, and the old bloodline is what I want. I don't like the newest stuff. I think a lot of the Walker stuff is kind of getting bred ignorant. But anyway, so that's the reason why I went with that one. But yeah, I just put the feelers out when I'm ready. Kari says, when you do another hunting video, can you please do it in water? You don't have to, but it would be dope. What do you mean, like in swamps? Because to be honest with you, I don't have swamps. And nowhere I hunt, unless I was traveling and stay overnight, would have a swamp, buddy. I'd be fine with doing it if I have them close. Alan, how you doing, buddy? Gary says, what should I breed toy dog? Oh, to my dog? Man, I don't know. You got a male or female, Gary? Johnny Stevens says he's struggling on a pair of English female pups. Yeah, Jacob says, yeah, Texas was off of Lipper and Kentucky River Rowdy. Yep. All right, so Nick's sire is Texas. I think, yeah. How you doing, SOMKY? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I'm good. Revelo Outdoors says, you know any good houndsmen from Middle Tennessee? No, I don't. I just don't. They're out there. I just don't know any out there. Sorry I don't, guys. Wish I did. Gary says he has a male. I don't know, man. Females are hard to find. I'll be honest with you, Gary. If I knew a good female you could breed to, I would have done Bred Hyde because I'm got the same dilemma you do, buddy. Trying to find an awesome female to breed to in the Walker is kind of hard to find. I don't know. A great female Walker dog is Holy Grail. I was talking to my buddy Kim. He knows a local guy that's got a female that's supposed to be really good. I don't know who the dude is. I don't even know what she is, but I'm trying to look into that a little bit. Uh, Jacob says his Knicks have Finley River. I think so. Be honest with you, I don't know. I don't look at the papers too deep, bud. Wish I did. Johnny Stevens says come to West Virginia. A lot of big coons up here. Yep. Car says yep. Never mind. Yeah, buddy. If I had some swamps, some water behind him, I sure would. Hyde's not scared of water. I've had him in some boggy situations type before. He has no problem with him. He crosses rivers, whatever. I need to hunt Nix and all in some water. Get her a little more used to it. So I've been on here an hour and 6 minutes. Let's see here. Some things I want to talk about. Anybody's watching right now, if you guys are interested in the hats, we have Nightlife hoodies. It's got the logo here. It's got the flag on this side. It's got a big logo on the back. If you're interested in that stuff, nightlifekennel.com. We also have the decals. We got 6-inch and 3-inch. These are the blue colors. We also have them in green, black, red, orange, white. We got all kinds of color decals, and we have them all in the 6 and the 3-inch. We're also selling, if you guys are interested, we have these Mooks quick detach collars. These are made to replace the strap on your GPS systems, so you can put your collars on and off your dog a lot quicker. We're a dealer for Mooks now. We got some Dan's Gear stuff in stock. Big Dog Genesis lights. A lot of cool stuff on our website, guys. We don't carry everything, but we carry a lot of stuff, especially the gear that we personally use. So if you see anything in our videos that you really like, that you might be interested in, go by our website, nightlifekennel.com. Check it out. If it's on there, 9 times out of 10, we have it in stock. So, any more questions? Jacob says, have you ever heard of Boone's Thunder? Real quick. No, I have not, buddy. I have not heard of that. Oh, let's see here. Anybody that just now watching this, if you will, when I post this up, go back and watch the first 10 minutes of this video. I talked about a poll that we put up the other day on this channel, and we asked people to post, tell us what kind of videos they wanted to see, and it was extremely humbling. And it meant the world to me, the results that we got from you guys. You guys basically told us to keep rolling like we're doing, show the bad and the good hunts. Right now we're going through a real rough patch as far as not having any good land to hunt, and not having basically anywhere to hunt that's any good, so we haven't had any good tracks and stuff. And I wasn't posting those videos because I didn't think you guys was going to watch them or would want to watch them, but a lot of people did, and I didn't know that. And so now we're going to start posting things up, guys. We have a new motto here at Nightlife, and I want to read this out to you. We are real coon hunters, not celebrities with big egos. We will remain humble in the pursuit to provide accurate, honest, and realistic evidence of the night-to-night hurdles, struggles, and stumbling blocks and victories of coon hunting. And that's what we want to do, guys. We want to represent what it really is to be a coon hunter. We just don't want guys that are new to coon hunting to come on our channel and see like some of the others just knocking coon after coon after coon. We want guys to be informed of, if they're thinking about being a coon hunter, they need to know there's going to be dry spells, there's going to be slick trees, there's going to be not striking any tracks, there's going to be losing land. There's so many massive struggles, but that's what makes it, like the other night when Nick struck that track, that's what makes that so sweet and so worth it. And that's what we're going to start making sure we provide to people. It's not going to just be the good hunts. We're going to show the bad too, and we're going to be honest with you guys. And that's something we feel like needs to be shown on YouTube as far as coon hunting goes. So go back there and watch that first 10 minutes, and we talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Gary says, my dad wants to be interested in selling one of your dogs. No, sir. I would not, but I appreciate the interest. Now, I will tell you this, guys. Nix and Tough are in my kennel right now, and their status is temporary. It just depends on how they turn out. So, can't say they're here forever. As much as I love to keep them, if they end up not turning out to be what I won't waste my time with them. I'll probably just give them away. Even if they're great dogs, but they're not what I'm looking for, I won't sell a dog that I'm not going to keep. And if I'm going to keep it, I ain't going to sell it. But I appreciate your interest, Gary. And if I do come up with anything I want to let go of later on, I'll let you know, buddy. Jacob says, how many dogs have you had at one time? Coon dogs wise, well, kind of a loaded question there. Actually, grown dogs, I had 5. But at the exact same time, I had 2 females that got accidentally bred a week apart from each other, and they both had 11 pups each. So I had 4 grown dogs and 2 litters of 11 pups at the exact same time, and that was utter chaos. I will never do that again. Which, it was all an accident, but that was crazy. Talking about taking care of 22 pups and 4 grown dogs at one time. And I give most of those pups away. David says, long ago, I really liked the house line. Also, the banjo line seemed to be pretty good, cold nose. And the Nance breed line is supposed to be super. And I believe that's the line that's still going strong. That's cool. Timber Hill says, right on. Hunting ain't always peaches and cream. That's one of the things. I woke up that morning, Timber Hill, and I read your message, and I read several others talking about send them all, put up all them videos, and it meant the world to me. Yeah, Kari, send that video, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, guys. We've been on an hour and 11 minutes. I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to check the weather. If it's not going to be raining bad, I may go hit the woods. Might not. I'm going to check the weather and see how it goes. The only place I got to hunt is Game Land. My buddy Austin here, he said he might be getting ready to roll down there, so I might holler at him. We got 26 likes, guys, if you will. If you hadn't already, hit the like button. I do appreciate it. Another thing, today, we hit 1,800 subscribers. We've been at this about exactly a year, just a touch over. And 1,800 subscribers in 1 year is awesome. I think for a coon hunting channel, I'm not sure that's been done. And we really, really appreciate that, and we're humbled by that. So, let's see here. Oh. Thank you, Timber Hill. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to call it out. Like I said, if you're interested in any hoodies, we still got some of them, guys. They're on the website. We've got Twilight Edition hats as well. We're going to maybe try to get in the woods. I know it's supposed to be good weather tomorrow night. Me and Miss Nightlife are going to go hunting for sure. So, we appreciate you. We love you more than anything. Nightlife family is where it's at. When I call you guys Nightlife family, I seriously mean that. This is not a slogan. This is not a marketing ploy. I mean it, guys. I do appreciate you. I do love you. I do consider everybody out there to be family. And I hope your hunt season is going way better than mine. But you know what? We're not going to stop. We're not going to quit. Work hard at it because we're coon hunters. We can't help it. We're glutton for punishment. So, all right, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. In the meantime, true one for me.